let's talk about a time when I went on a date with this guy who tried to make me join a cult. So I met this guy called Jake from a dating app, and it was our first day. Like, we'd had a few messages back and forth, the vibes were there. So I thought, obviously, I'm going to meet up with him. So anyway, he picks me up and he's like, I want to take you to this like really special spot of mine. And I was like, okay. And we pull up and we get to this really creepy building. So obviously in my head, like, alarm bells are going off, red flags. But you know what us girls are like. We see a red flag, we run into it. You know, like a matador with their red flag. That is what us girls do with the bull, and we run into it. So that is what I did. I followed the red flags and I ended up at this very creepy building. So anyway, we get there and he said to me, oh, a couple of my friends are going to be here. Like, I really want you to meet some of my friends. Again, another red flag. Like, why would you want to meet someone's friends on a first date? So we go up and all these people are around wearing robes, like chanting. And I'm like, oh my God, like, he is trying to make me join a cult. Like, it must be a cult. At first I thought maybe this is like how you get scouted for MI5. Like, maybe someone saw something in me and I'm going to be like a secret agent. But then in my head I was like, oh my God, is this like ISIS? Like, are they going to like brainwash me? Like, I was so scared at this point.
Bit of a weird thing though, isn't it? To literally agree to go on a first date with someone, and then, that person's then saying, oh, I'd really love you to meet some of my friends, bearing in mind you wouldn't probably have even met this woman before or barely even know her. And then he's asking her to meet some of his friends. You don't find that very often on a first date. So maybe on the third or the fourth date. Definitely not, probably not even the second. Like the first date, definitely not. And I can see why this woman was shedding some concerns in her head, because when she's walking in, she sees all these men wearing these different robes. Just a bit bizarre, isn't it? Okay, you're going to meet some new friends, that's a red flag in itself, but to then find them wearing robes, that's another red flag. And then you kind of think, well, what am I getting myself into here? And she said, here, girls run into red flags, and this is exactly what this woman has done.
So at this point, my date Jake was like, oh, come join our circle. We're going to do this like spiritual ritual. Like, I'm a very spiritual person and I feel like you're quite spiritual as well. And I am, to an extent. And I was trying to stay open-minded. I was like, this could just be something he's into. I shouldn't be judgmental. So anyway, we got into this circle. We were all holding hands. Jake, his friends who were all in robes. It was all very strange. And then this is where it got like weird. The like cult leader started pouring out this drink. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is the moment. I'm going to be trafficked. Like, all these things were going off in my head. So I just had to make up an excuse and just get the hell out of there. I literally made up the worst excuse in the world. I said, oh, my friend's taking care of my dog and she's noticed she's starting to feel poorly. Like worst excuse in the world. Like, you can never use an excuse about your pet, I feel, because it's just so obvious that it's a lie. But anyway, I managed to get out, got home, and just, that is how I dodged a second date for one, and a cult initiation. So I hope these tips have helped. If this ever happens to you.
I'd like to know now how that actually went, because obviously when they're all wearing robes and there's like this cult leader there pouring a mysterious drink, and who knows what would have been in it, what would have happened then? Was it just a friendly drink? Were they just all trying to bond? Were they just trying to have a good time? We don't know, because she made up the most hilarious excuse, and obviously the most fake excuse possible. Yeah, I mean, obviously then if she was thinking about, the drink might have been spiked, the others wouldn't have drank it, would they? So she would have had to wait for others to drink theirs or try and swap them. But at least she did actually leave there, because she probably did the right thing in the end, because who knows what could have happened. And if, like she described, that it all seemed a little bit dodgy, a little bit mysterious, and tons of red flags were contained. So she definitely made the right decision to just leave there, and she can just reflect, and she'll know and learn when she next goes on a first or even a second date. She knows those red flag signs to look out for.
Thanks for watching StoryTrender. Don't forget to like and follow.